Point MMA, baby. Are you technically ready? Are you technically ready? Coming up, everybody, real soon. Belt Magazine. We see the advertisement for the best of both worlds. You got myself and Coach Kevin Kearns coming to our school, first time ever, doing a 3-day workshop on 8 hours of certification for strength and conditioning and MMA, as well as Point MMA certification and a bonus of Street MMA certification. 16 hours of non-stop fun, excitement, and hardcore working out. We challenge you to come on out. Open to 20 people. We just recently had an 8-hour seminar, Street MMA, a little bit of Point MMA, 8 hours, no water, no food, just constant working, baby. I like to always take it to that level. It's about daring myself to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's always about digging down inside myself and striving to become a much better person. So we want you. We want to see you there. We want you to log on to the website, get registered, go to kevinkearns.com, go to pointmma.com, send us an email, go to williebamjohnson.com, or call 301-776-0909. Be there or be square. You feel what I'm saying? We're looking for you to show up. Let's take this thing to the next level. Point MMA and strength and conditioning. We also have a program called Street Calisthenics. Yeah, wherever you go, you got to be able to get it in, be able to work out, let yourself go, be committed to being great. Do not let nothing stand in your way. Technically ready, are you? Truly, are you technically ready? Are you getting ready for the Capital Classics? Coming up. We know what the weekend is. August 3rd through 4th. Are you ready? Are you going to be prepared? Show up, compete, participate in Point MMA. We also got the Street Calisthenics Challenge called Fitness Challenge. And we got the Martial Fusion, aka Kung Fu Hip Hop. If you're a trickster, extreme person, a dancer, a hyper person, whatever it may be, yeah, we got something for you. Because all that represents the environment and the culture that I come from. That's the true elements of martial arts. And when you're doing Point MMA, as long as it's done with safety, not trying to break someone up, not trying to punch somebody out, not trying to hurt someone, but allowing yourself to fluidly be able to adapt and flow and bring back that whole element of freestyle sparring that is in the complete martial artist. So it's not nothing new. But if you're ready to come out and do just that, doing safe sweeps, throws, takedowns, punches, strikes, back fists, boxing techniques, everything done for control and expression of oneself. You can even throw some flips in there. You can do whatever you want to do. Let it just go. As Master Brown always told me, if somebody sweep you while you're falling, you should be able to hit them. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy, your goal is to do what? Bring them down, get the points, rack up the points, get the control of what you're doing by doing what? Working your ground game, working what you're a master at. If you're a Taekwondo person, you're a kicker, pop, work your kicks. They bring you down, try to counter. If you go down, get back up, work your kicks. Make up for the points with the kicks. Represent your style. To me, Point MMA represents that whole element of what Bruce Lee was trying to show in the game of death. You got to be able to adapt to all styles, but really come back to what really is your strength. No one knows what that is. When you see that, you begin to witness expression of total beauty of martial arts. We can see that happening now in the UFC with technique, skilled athletes coming in, pound the sound mind up. Point MMA, you ain't got to wear the shorts. You can wear your traditional uniform. Just come in, represent, and be technically correct. We understand the underbelts and the kids is a process to strive to that level, but at the advanced level right now this year, which eventually is going to be a black belt level, then you'll have the advanced belt level, and next year is just going to be the weight classes of black belt and in that upper level of competition for cash prizes. Then there'll be an advanced belt level, which probably is step around red and black belt, just like it used to be back in the day. But we about producing real champions of sports, martial arts. Not all about coming out and representing a lifestyle of things that make it hard for a youth, the next generation, to make the right decision. But it's all about, to me, and I always learn, whatever I represent and whatever I'm striving to be and however I want to express myself, I can't demand that everybody else accept that. What I got to do is make sure I'm able to function within society as a whole and be able to live life on life terms and be a walking, living example and breathing example for another generation. I can't be so selfish that I try to force my opinions and my ways and my methods and my concepts on other people. That's just who I am. I accept you for who you are. You accept me for who I am. So everything that we do with Point MMA is like what martial arts was all about. Gotta always remember I'm a role model. And when I'm standing in front of those children, I gotta teach in a manner that allows them to freely make the right decision. Not trying to be like me, because I choose to dress a certain way and wear tattoos or wear an earring or wear. I'm nothing against none of that, because I come from a whole era of those different things. But I gotta represent a pure and harmonious lifestyle and be that example for that next generation. Point MMA, are you technically ready? What is it about? Purity of expression, purity of character, purity of just being you. As Russell says, and in his book, do you. So just be you, baby. Point MMA, come on out. Let's take this sports karate to the next level. Let's allow people to benefit from it. Let's go beyond the days. Oh man, I remember the Chuck Merrimans and the Trans Oil Karate team and seeing all those things. It was just a great opportunity to go to tournaments and win some good cash prizes. It's not about the politics, which is another term for politics. It's about honestly allowing everyone to fairly come out and give their best, and at the same time allowing everyone to achieve success and that level of accomplishment on a fair and honest stage of expression. That's what we're trying to bring back here. Sports karate legacy is also a part of that, about remembering the great masters of the past. Anybody that contributed to the development of martial arts in this country, they are all going to be remembered through this. Really identify with your reality. You gotta know your history. Then you will have some concern and some awareness of what the possibilities are in the future. And guess what? Your reality will be real, because we were based on something that's solid. This is a grassroots effort. We got some great people behind us. Master Brown, Osa Tayari Cassell, Master Arnold Mitchell. We just got Master Michael D. Pasquale to come on board. We got so many people that are committing to this journey. Mr. Kevin Kearns with the certification. We got people behind us and believing that this is another expression of MMA. Bruce Lee called it Jeet Kune Do. I mean, man, we called it mixed martial arts, Wushudo. I mean, everybody got their own expression of what their terminology or concept of MMA is. And we can't say that someone's art or way is not effective, because for them it might be successful in that pressure cooker. But all you can do is be honest about your expression. And most importantly for me, as a parent, as a school owner, as an innovator, leader, entrepreneur, you name it, a child of God, I gotta make sure I bring solutions to society. I learned that in jail. I can't just be creating something because it's my ego. The martial fusion, kung fu, hip hop, all that stuff was created for a desire to stay connected to my oldest son, my kids, and allow me to be able to grow and communicate and understand him through an expression of his culture. Yeah, I came up with the whole hip hop thing, but at that time I was so afraid of expressing that because I didn't have the courage like the generation have now. I did it outside the industry, but not inside the industry, and I'm glad I did do that, because it allowed me to grow to where I'm at today. Wushudo, hey, it was created while I was in jail because I realized that I was adapting to the environment. So I had to recognize that my art was allowing me to do that. And that's what it's all about, developing the complete person so they can be able to adapt to whatever come their ways. Before then, it was just creatively doing whatever, man. I was trying to get out the pain as a youth when I first seen Bruce Lee's Chinese Connection. So I just adapted, made the best of my environment and my surroundings, and didn't let nothing stand in my way. It's all still the exact same thing to this day. What do we look at? We look at the Point MMA. Hey, it's all about letting students, my son, my youngest son, the younger kids, learn how to deal with that sort of situation, because we know the average predator today know a little bit more about the martial arts concepts because they're the ones that's buying into the MMA. So back then when I first came home from being incarcerated, talking about it in the Karate Illustrated magazine, saying you needed more than just technique, you needed attitude and spirit. You know, at that time you can throw an elbow, throw a knee, throw some crazy stuff, and society as a whole, what they were unfamiliar with those effective techniques that comes from Thai boxing and so forth. Bruce Lee even talked about that in the earlier days. But now today, people are a little bit more skilled. I mean, if MMA is so simple, it's easy to learn. As I said, if it was easy for me to adapt to what was going on in the movies in the Shaw Brothers era, in the Bruce Lee era, now we're coming up in the UFC era. Back then it was Bruce Lee, today it's UFC. So we got to adapt to it. So it's important for me to allow my youngest son or some of these kids who never want to go out there and fight to know how to deal with that sort of pressure, punching and kicking and people laying on top of you and trying to grapple you and lock you up or break your arm and bully you and push you around. Until you understand how to adapt and understand that whole element in a safe, friendly, exciting way, you're going to always fear it. And we trying to go beyond that. We trying to give them confidence from the inside out so they can be able to stand up to whatever comes their way and be able to redirect it. So Point MMA is another way to be able to go about that. Remember when the martial fusion was first expressed and brought to the world and people rejected it, it was the art of fighting without fighting. So we didn't even cover the sparring components, but it was always there because we really studied the concepts behind it. Anything that I ever did, and that's what I learned, you know, in my years of studying the martial arts. If I did an aerial, it was for a purpose. If I did a backflip, it was for a purpose. Anything that I did was for a purpose. It always had to have a combative reference. And in Wushu, you know, it was an art of expression. But, you know, once I started learning Wushu, it was the same thing for me. It wasn't about performance. It was about combat. Because I knew I needed to be able to do those things if I got in a confrontation back in the hood. And I did use them, and that's why I'm where I'm at today. So nothing new, nothing about satisfying Willie the Bam Johnson ego. It's about evolving the martial arts as a whole, tapping into societal needs. And everybody in society needs to be truly connected to the principles and the development of what martial arts can really do to people. If it can take me and make me who I am today, imagine what it can do to a whole new generation. Generation Next, coming for you, baby. Don't forget US Capitol Classics, August 3rd and 4th. Be there or be square. Point MMA, are you technically ready? We got the martial fusion. We got the fitness challenge. We just in the house, Foo-Ya Legacy. We'll be there filming it, putting you on the mixtape, the next Foo-Ya Legacy mixtape. Whatever, just come out, have a great time, man. It's about harmony. When we all can work together, get together, and strive for the greatest things in the world, which is to be great, guess what happens to the world? We live in a greater society.